Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me thank the Peace Islands Institute for initiating this Ambassador Series and for inviting the AU to be a part of today's forum. I also wish to offer sincere apologies on behalf of Ambassador Tete, who could not be here today due to circumstances beyond his control. I am therefore honored to participate in his stead, and I see my task as moderator all the more easier with distinguished lineup of panelists of vast experience and rich career background, having served in high-level functions in their respective governments. I am therefore humbled to have this opportunity to moderate such a panel. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the timely choice of theme of our panel today cannot be overemphasized, given the increasing manifestations of this concept, which has been espoused since the very inception of the creation of the Organization of African Unity, and I can even venture to say, was also the embodiment of the ideals of Pan-Africanism. The forefathers of the Organization of African Unity, in crafting the Charter of the AU, placed a high premium on mediation, prevention, and peacemaking, hence establishing the Commission of Mediation, Conciliation, Arbitration as one of the principal organs of the OAU. The peaceful settlement of disputes through negotiation, mediation, conciliation, or arbitration was the cornerstone of that organ. The concept of African solutions to African problems did not stand the test of the era, given the interstate nature of conflicts and the limited scope of the OAU to effectively address them without infringing on some of its most sacrosanct principles. For example, one of the principles, that of non-interference, as well as that of the respect for the territorial integrity of African states, was a challenge. The era of the 90s, as we all know, witnessed fundamental changes in the world and in Africa in particular. Africa then witnessed an ever-increasing pattern of intra-state conflicts unfolding on the continent and evoked a renewed sense of shared responsibility amongst African leaders based on the principle of non-indifference. The subsequent establishment of the OAU mechanism for conflict prevention, management, and resolution in Cairo in 1993 was a robust response from the Continental Organization to address the fundamental changes on the continent. The 1994 Rwanda genocide was a very sad tragedy and a wake-up call for the continent, but was also the tipping point in the transformation of the OAU into the AU, paving the way for the adoption of the AU Constitutive Act, with enshrined provisions on the right to intervene in a member state in respect to grave circumstances of war crimes, genocide, and crimes against humanity. The establishment of the AU Peace and Security Council followed on with the adoption of the PSC protocols. The protocol of the PSC provides the African Peace and Security Council the architecture, which is anchored on 5 key pillars, notably the AU Peace and Security Council, the AU Panel of the Wise, the Continental Early Warning System, the African Standby Force, the Memorandum of Understanding on the Cooperation in the Area of Peace and Security between the AU, the regional economic communities, regional mechanism for conflict prevention, management, and resolutions. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no better illustration of Africa's commitment to African solutions to African problems than in the area of peace and security, and the various homegrown initiatives and instruments already adopted. Many success stories can be enumerated, but the same is true in the area of socio-economic development and transformation of the continent, which shifted a paradigm of demanding aid to mutually beneficial win-win partnership. The establishment of the African Economic the establishment of the African regional economic communities as building blocks to spur regional integration and boost intra-Africa trade remain one of the key drivers of Africa's transformative agenda. The new Partnership for Africa's Development, launched in 2001 as a program of the African Union, is aimed at enhancing Africa's growth, development, and participation in the global economy. In the interest of time, allow me to also make mention of other important African homegrown initiatives, such as the African Peer Review Mechanism, the AU Convention on the Prevention and Combating of Corruption, the African Charter on Democracy, Elections, and Governance, the AU Declaration on Unconstitutional Changes of Government, the Solemn Declaration on the Conference on Security, Stability, Development, CSSDCA, the African Solidarity Initiative, which is designed to empower African countries to offer systematic assistance to other countries, the AU Convention on the Prevention and Combating of Terrorism, the African Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone, the AU Solemn Declaration on Gender, etc. It is important to note recent developments in the establishment of an AU high-level committee on post-2015 development agenda, chaired by the President of the Republic of Liberia, and also the establishment of an AU high-level panel on illicit financial flows. The African Common Position is expected on post-2015 development agenda, is expected to be officially adopted later this month in Chad. African leaders have also embarked on steps to define a Continental Agenda 2063, a shared strategic framework for inclusive growth and sustainable development. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my very lengthy remarks suggest the challenge of doing justice to this theme of great importance to us in Africa in a time frame provided. But we do appreciate the initiative as a first step in a series of dialogue around this theme. And we do look forward to participating actively. I thank you for your kind attention.